Hello, everyone, and welcome to Texas Card House Dallas for tonight's even bigger one. Or pardon me, this is just the big one. The big one, the greatest weekly tournament in all the land, coming at you from right here, Texas Card House Dallas. I'm RJ Dupree in the booth tonight with my co-host, Mr. Eric Van Loosen. What's up, buddy?
What is going on, man? Yeah, excited to be here for another big one. A lot of stuff going on in the state and up in Oklahoma. So the field's a little shorter tonight, but we still have over $12,000 for first place, and we crushed the guarantee by $14,400. So
That's how we roll.
cards are in the air. Let's have fun. Engage in the chat.
Here we go. Players are guaranteed a little over $1,200 at this final table. Playing for more than $14,000 up top tonight.
And, of course, you will recognize some faces. A lot of multi-final table guys on the final table tonight. See a couple of them there in the 3 and 4 seat.
And the 6.
Absolutely. The 6 is becoming an absolute regular. Go blue, Mr. Michigan himself.
Yep, going by Michael tonight. All right, so we're heads up in hand number 1. It's Brian taking on Michael. Small blind versus big blind.
17. Yeah, 17. Okay, I'm just repeating.
Ace high here for Brian in the small blind. Raised with that ace. Going to go ahead and continue here and does take it down.
There we go. Nice win there for Brian. And seat 1, obviously, somebody else that we recognize. So we'll go around and let you know who the chip leader is so far. Seat 1 is going to be Serge. David in the 2 seat is going to be our chip leader, followed by Scoop, another regular there. Shorty right now is going to be the 8 seat, JT. Followed by Scott in the 9 and the aforementioned Serge.
No, you're good. This is where.
All right, so the button is in the 5 seat here for hand number 2. Trying to figure out exactly what our blinds are starting here at the final table tonight. We're on our screen that doesn't have the cheat code for us, so we have to actually look and figure it out, just like you guys. Looks like Scoop's going to raise this one up. Picks up $40,000 in profit. So that would be... What do I
They
see?
still have some yellow chips on the table. Those are the 1Ks, right?
Yes, I think so.
So, yeah, they definitely smaller field today.
So we've gotten to the final table here at a smaller level than what we're generally accustomed to. It looks like 816, 1630. Yeah, that's what that would come out to 40,000 as well. So looks like we're rocking at 8,000 small blind, 16,000 in the big blind with 16,000 as a big blind ante. So there you go. Yeah, we have not seen a level that small at the final table in quite a while.
Been a hot minute.
And even though the field size is down, it's not down like significantly. It's so yeah, it's shocking to me that it makes that big of a difference in our blind level. Ace deuce 3 the flop here. JT's going to land the best of it with a deuce, so that's always difficult to figure out.
He's going to bet it and take it down. The old Choctaw nut.
There we
Speaking
go.
of Choctaw, you hit a pair, you bet it.
Hit something, say something, see if you can win it.
Drag a pot. Alexis Brown cheering on Michael. I got to speak to him just a little bit about his continuing to just end up on these final tables, and he was pretty excited and said he's got some other poker players in the family, and they love to watch him play as well.
There we go.
Shout out to Michael's family. And Taylor jumping in, our production gal, saying, "Let's go Stars," from next door in the production booth next to us.
There we go. We got Let's Go Stars and Go Blue already in the chat. So, love to see it.
Yeah, but let us know in the chat who you're rooting for. let us know if maybe one of these players knocked you out today. The sucker that knocked me out of this tournament today is not at the final table, so I'm a little upset with Jonathan.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
It's always fun when you and I get to attribute to the prize pool.
Yeah. And Dina's racing off those aforementioned 1K chips
There
because
we
the
go.
blinds are going up. So there you go again. That is our prize pool today, $44,400, 148 entries. These are your best, your final 9. RJ mentioned 1240 for 9th place, but big 10x jump all the way up to 12,405 for first place. So a lot to play for. You can see those real big pay jumps start right around 4th place. So a lot to play for. A lot of short stacks are going to try to build it now and see if they can't make a run at that 12K up top.
All right, so looks like we have graduated to 10,000, 15,000 on the blind level. Nope, 10,000, 20,000. Yeah, that sounds right. We'll do a small blind of 10,000. Big blind's going to be 20,000. 20,000 big blind Annie. So there you go. You can set your math to that.
Scoop likes his hand. He's going to raise up the ace-jack to 50K. I imagine that's going to be the kind of standard open for this round of blinds here.
Yeah, Tracy Kress in the chat saying, you need to play more TCH tournaments. Didn't even realize we had this monthly or the weekly going on yet. And there's other great weeklies during the week. Thursday night has become a fantastic tournament. A lot of entries there for, what is that, a 200 on Thursday nights?
150 on Thursday night.
That's right, yeah, 150.
But it's a pretty good starting stack, 40K starting stack, 10K guarantee. Usually about 6,000 plus for first place. And actually this Thursday, they did a 3-way chop when they got down to 3-handed. All 3 guys walked away with $4,800 for just a $150 buy-in.
There you go. So that's our Thursday night weekly.
Friday nights.
Friday night's another good night.
Bigger, even deeper stack one. That's a 250 buy-in, 10K guarantee. I may know somebody who won that booger last night.
Well, I heard shout-outs are in order, and congratulations. My man Eric Van Loosen. Nice little cash Thursday night, back-to-back cashes, and a win on Friday night. So my man Eric Van Loosen has passed me in the 2024-25 money list, and I'm a little bit sad about that.
Yep.
But
it felt good. I needed it. And actually, our 7th seat over there, Chris, finished 3rd. He was at the final table with me last night.
Go.
So another final table, back-to-back nights for Chris. So shout out to Chris. Had a lot of fun playing with him.
Fun little hand here as Serge versus BJ. Serge in there with Queen Jack, and he gets a Jack high flop. BJ here turns open-ended, but Serge is running a little low on chips, so it's going to be tough to have any bluff equity there. So Serge is
all in.
Well, he's going to try it anyway. He's going to rip it with that open-ended. Serge is going to beat him in the pot.
King or an 8. Looks like there's 5 outs for BJ. Interesting dynamic here with Dina being the dealer. She may have a little interest in this hand. No, but it's the ace of clubs. The ace from space that knocked me out of today's tournament.
Close, but no straight.
No cigar, so big double up from Serge there. And definitely a fun dynamic if y'all didn't know. BJ and Miss Dina here are married and awesome. Maybe. I don't know.
I hope they like each other.
Yeah, me too. Especially after I threw that out there. No, but they're both awesome. Dina's one of our favorite dealers. She makes a lot of appearances on these final tables, dealing for us. Randy joined us. What's up, Randy? Says, go Serge. She's rooting on seat 1. JD already saying good game. It ain't over, bro.
GG.
No, this will be a good game indeed.
There we go. Randy rooting on Serge and Scoop. Welcome to the show, Randy.
Call.
Michael doesn't like those fours.
Call.
I don't blame him.
JT over there in that cold corner got that nice coat on.
Call. 2 4.
Well, dadgum. DFW DJ Rod Baker was the bubble boy today, but still jumping in here to say good luck to everyone, and that's very gentlemanly of you, and I'm sure you'll have plenty more opportunities to make it to this final table.
Check.
All right, Scoop lands king, queen here. Takes the big lead in equity.
At 30.
Yeah, pretty good stranglehold on this hand here.
Call. Call.
And thank you, Miss Randy. I needed it.
Check.
Another king here on the turn.
Interesting spot for Serge here. Called on that flop, maybe not a believer.
At 60.
And now another king comes out, and Scoop continues to bet.
Yeah, sometimes when that top card pairs like that, you don't necessarily believe your opponent has it. But this time, of course, we can see that Scoop does. 7 of diamonds, close by the pips, but not an 8.
When they miss you, it seems like they always miss you by 1, doesn't it?
Right?
So Scoop now knows he's best. King, queen. And
Alright.
Serge believes him now after that third barrel. 2 of our best and most frequent gentlemen on our final table battling it out there.
Maybe that's where the term pipsqueak comes from. Pipsqueak.
When you're out pipped by just a squeak.
Just a squeak.
Shout out to all our friends that are playing up at Choctaw. We got quite a few friends and folks that are playing up at Choctaw, and good luck to everybody.
Yeah.
For those that stuck around here, we've got more coming at you tomorrow. TCH Social over in Las Colinas is actually doing a special May the 4th Star Wars themed tournament. Same guarantee as this booger right here, 30,000 guarantee, but it's
That's
only
right.
a $250 buy-in, so you're actually getting
A better deal.
a better deal over there for this one-time May the 4th be with you tourney
It's
tomorrow,
like a coupon.
starting at 11 a.m. So y'all go over there, join all the nerds, geeks, and freaks for Star Wars themed tournament. Can't go wrong.
You and I will be there.
Absolutely.
I'll probably be in the dealer streets. You might be in the player streets, but feel free to say hi if you see us running around, and come by, check us out. TCH Social at Las Colinas tomorrow. Chris going to raise it up here with king, queen, and takes it down.
And here is the flyer for that booger.
We got a picture.
There we go. There you go. Watch out for the Klingons near Uranus. There it is. May 4th. May the 4th be with you. 30,000 guaranteed. 250 buy-in tomorrow. Las Colinas, 11 a.m. Good luck.
Now, last week when the sky made the smiley face at night, does anyone remember what 2 planets that is?
No clue. But no, Randy, you don't have to dress up.
Uranus
But
and Mars.
You are more than welcome to come out as Princess Leia or whomever.
Or you could just wear your poker clothes, but that's all right.
All right, Funky G letting us know he's still in the main event.
885,000 in chips, playing till level 10. Trying to get to day 2 tomorrow. Let's go. Happy stacking up there.
Good luck, Funky G.
All right, Chris going to raise it up with queen 9 of diamonds. Scoop's going to call from the small blind with pocket 10s. We get a flop of ace, king, 4, 2 hearts. Neither player going to love this flop.
King of hearts, 4 of hearts, ace of spades.
Chris, the original raiser under the gun,
Yes.
will continue.
6, 7, bet 75.
And somehow our smart table knows that those queens are all gone except for the Queen of Hearts.
Call.
Yeah, so you can see that Cool little graphic at the top of your screen showing 3 queens. Normally that would be a 3-outer, but
You don't
2
need,
of those queens are shaded out, so you get to see that only 1 of them are remaining live.
and you don't need outs when you get a bluff through
That's
there.
right.
So.
When you're stacking chips, outs do not matter.
And William Millville joining us. What's up, team? Looking forward to another final table stream. And shout out to Poker Monkey, Mark Woods. Yo, yo. What do we say the blinds are right now, RJ?
Man, I'm supposed to remember that?
It looks like
10,000, 20,000.
10, 20, 20 right now.
10, 20, 20. So we have 3 players at or approaching or under that 10x mark. So we have 3 players with 10 blinds remaining. So this lap of the button could be a little bit interesting. Chris going to raise under the gun +1 here with Jack 10 of clubs. So we've seen him open it up a little bit, try to take advantage of some folks trying to ladder up. Last time was Queen 9 suited. This time Jack 10 suited.
BJ is one of our shorties, and he's got a pair. Is he going to go with it here? Got the button coming to him next, so he could choose to let this go. But not a bad price, though, here either. 50K. He's just got to call 40 more. But that is a good chunk of that 197 of his.
Yeah, about a quarter of it. So he elects to throw those 3s in the muck. He will take his chances with this lap of the button. Of course, being in the small blind there, that's the battle in your head right there. Do you run with it with those 10 blinds, or do you throw it in the muck and see what you can get this lap of the button? And of course, our next 2 shorties will be in the 8 seat and the 9 seat, I believe. So blinds are coming up on them shortly in this orbit. That also comes into play when you're in a position there that BJ was just in.
Chris on a little heater piece here. And players starting to see that, and they're going to get out of his way until maybe he cools down a little bit.
Yeah, this time a real hand there. He's got the ladies. Got to open it up 3 hands in a row there, and the third one is queens. So that's always a fun spot to be in.
I didn't have to show any of those hands.
So he's picking up some blinds here through aggression, and a nice little pair of holdings there. Mitchell A in the chat. What's up, Mitchell A? How are you, buddy?
Big Mitch. All right, we got, what, 7 big blinds over there for JT?
Mitch with an M.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He knows that I pronounced his name correctly. I would not call Mitch any disparaging words.
Out of control. All right, David in the low jack. He's going to raise it up here with pocket 5s. Makes it 75. Pardon me, they're announcing that as a call now. So David will call the 20,000. BJ just calls in the cutoff with a suited ace. So yeah, he's in an interesting spot. He's got a hand. He definitely doesn't want to fold from the cutoff, but he probably wants to see those other 2 shorties go through the blinds before he gets after it.
Yeah, this is trouble. They both are going to check a pair to him. He's got a 6.
And yeah, he's reaching. Landed the 6, good enough for 2nd place, but Chris may not go anywhere with this Queen 10. He does not. He will make the call. So this is going to leave BJ with 142,000 behind. SPR negative.
And that is a card that Chris is not.
Chris going to like that card.
He's going to take the initiative
here. Well,
and
that might save BJ here.
Absolutely. Not a lot in his stack, and Chris is willing to risk it there in case he did run into a jack there.
Absolutely.
He had a lot of outs.
If you have a jack, I'll play for it. If you don't, I'm going to take this down.
So JT and BJ have right at 7 big blinds. Scott looking at just a scotch more than that.
So
10-ish,
yeah,
10 and a half.
10-ish. And JT here in the big blind, this particular hand, and he's down to 148,000. 15-ish. All right, David with a big stack over here in the 2 seat. He'll have an opportunity here to raise it up with his ace. Try to pick on those short stacks in the blinds. Rags in between, so that comes in handy. And rags for the big blind. So everyone has to fold. David picks up blinds and antes there. JT now all the way down to 108,000 as that particular big blind hand cost him 40,000. Scott now, he's in the big blind with 210,000.
Absolutely there. There's a link right there in the chat, folks, if you're interested in playing on our live stream on Tuesday night, our cash game.
Cash money.
Click on that link. Normally have a big no-limit game, but every now and then we'll do something a little different. So let them know what you're interested in playing, what stakes you like.
All right, BJ has ripped it. No,
Almost.
Almost. Pert near. He's got the pert near all-in move working. Ace-6 suited. Oh, and we're going to have some company. He's trying to find this spot, picking on both those small blind, those short stacks in the small blind and big blind, and it just so happens that pocket tens are sitting right behind him.
Hijack doesn't want to risk anything extra with the tens. He just makes the call, thinking maybe he could bring somebody else in and they could get the kind of combo on the knockout. So he's not completely all in, though, is BJ.
994. He is totally whiffed here with 12,000 behind. So, what to do now? He does throw it in there. He'll go for it. Brian's got pocket tens, and he's got a pretty good lead in equity here. BJ's going to need an ace.
3 big outs unless he goes running sixes.
Running sixes or running nines, which would be nasty. 8 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds, no help. Pocket tens are going to hold, and that will be our first elimination of tonight's final table. Mr. BJ. Another great run for Mr. BJ tonight. He will finish in 9th place. He'll take home a prize of $1,240. That will mean that 8-handed players are locked up, $1,400.
Absolutely, and if we just fired a bullet and not more than that, he's made just under $1,000 for his troubles.
Who does
today.
that anymore?
Yeah.
I try to
limit those bullets, but every now and then, you know, you're feeling frisky. You feel like the run good's going to happen for you. Keep firing. That's how we ended up with 148 entries today. Definitely several players fire multiple. Kind of wish we could get that stat when we get in here.
Right.
To know what each player
That
is.
would be so nasty. Yeah, sometimes players will share that they're in for
heaps.
17 bullets or something crazy.
You're like, oh, here's so-and-so in the 3 seat. He's going to need to win this thing just to break even tonight, you know? That would be fun.
2025 poker, that's how we get these prize pools. So Scoop raised it up here. And he gets 2 callers. Serge going to land top pair here, but it's very connected board, 7, 8, 9.
Ruh-roh. The Jack-9 is no longer way behind.
Jack-9 landed middle pair in a gutter, and hello, gutter on the turn. King-Queen looking for a gutter now of his own.
Gutter to the nutter. And that's not a bad price when you got 841K in your stack.
Michigan Mike thinking about it here. 2 overs and the nutter gutter, but he's in the muck. Scoop going to take it down. 130,000 in profit on that one.
Michael asked him if he would show the jack, and Scoop said, nope.
No, thank you.
Nice try. But yeah, the good fold there for Michael, because if he hits a king or queen, might think his hand is good there, and obviously
Right.
there's a four-liner out there.
With the four-liner, it takes away the power of your two overs. Basically, just have a gut shot with one card to go. And likely scenario that your opponent has one of them.
And Mitchell A saying, y'all jumped up in here. Smash that like button.
Smash it.
Hit that thumbs up if you guys are enjoying it and love the TCH streams. We do stream at all of our locations throughout the week. So subscribe to the channel, TCH Live, and check it out. You'll get alerts all week long.
Hand 15, our first aces sighting, Mr. Brian. He's under the gun +1. Aces will raise it up. 60,000 now to go. Scott, short stack and on the button, pondering something in a jack. He's in the muck, and hello, mama.
And this is just the nastiness of poker. The final table, playing for 12,000, and you just run into it here.
Serge going to bump it up. He's going to 3-bet with kings. This should not take long, of course. Brian going to rip it. He's all in. Serge also all in, and there we have the hot mess. Kings versus aces.
The old 12%er. Let's see if he does have both cards live.
Spade is not. Diamond is.
No, he's got one out, so that's
Jack,
why it's 12%.
8-4, rainbow.
Case king of clubs.
Case daddy does not come. It's the 5 of spades. Aces are going to hold, and I believe that is enough for an elimination there as well. They were fairly close in stacks.
Yeah, Brian did have Serge covered, and Serge is going down to the felt. Shout out to Serge. He's definitely been one of our players that we're really getting used to seeing on these final tables.
We are getting used to seeing Serge, absolutely.
He is a gentleman at the table, and we love having him around. So great job, Serge. Taking home 1,400 smackaroonies. Great job, buddy.
Well done there, and a nice pot for Brian. That's going to balloon him up quite a bit.
Absolutely.
And we are 7-handed now. Players are locked up 15,075.
And JT is on fumes right now.
I keep doing that, by the way. It's 1,500. 1,575 locked up. Still playing for 14,000 up top.
12,000.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, Oklahoma math is struggling today.
They have a lot of similar numbers up there today. I knew I was going to have issues.
All right, Chris looking at a pretty ace-queen here. Down to 7-handed, so strength of some of these hands is definitely going to start going up. Nobody else has anything to battle, so Chris is definitely running pretty good right now, getting no resistance, and that's always a good thing when you can just have money coming your way and not have to fight for it.
So we come into the final table with 3 shorties. We've seen 2 eliminations, but only one of them was our shorties.
Yeah, so nice double ladder up there for JT.
Yep. Yeah, JT and Scott both making some real money there with the madness that was aces versus kings.
Ronnie B saying smashed. All right.
55.
Don't smash and dash, man. Stick around.
Hang on. Take your coat off. Hang around a little while.
We may not be in for a long haul tonight. The way these knockouts are starting to come to fruition. Just 17 hands in. Here we go. Haven't had a chance to talk much about David over here.
Yeah, he's
big stack.
He's done a nice job of working it over there in the 2 seat. And this time he's got a suited ace on the button, so he will 3-bet. Chris has opened up at a high frequency, so that's a good spot to 3-bet with your suited ace. Chris, nice job of opening up. If there's resistance, maybe not mess with it. He's in the muck. Well played.
And if you haven't already downloaded, you can see there on the table, it says Hijack. That is the TCH app that they created just several months ago, but it is a online poker app.
Online poker app.
Yeah. You can play on your phone or on your laptop. Only if you're in the state of Texas, though, and you can load money here at the clubs. Easy to cash out. A lot of different games to play. Free roll tournaments, all kinds of stuff. There's definitely some opportunities, I think, if you check the website to get some free monies by signing up.
Free monies. You could use the promotional code Rascal, by the way, and you get 15 free dollars, and I think I get like 2 cents or something.
Fantastic.
Rascal with a capital R.
RASCAL. Get your 15 schmackaroonies. Courtesy of the rascal next to me,
That's right.
RJ Duprizzle. All right, so we are under the gun for our short stack JT. Can he wake up with something here?
Ronnie B, what's up in the chat?
Drum roll, no.
Yep, under the gun. You'd love to see it there so you don't get double taxed on that big blind. Scott's going to rip it here. He's got the mystery card and a king, the hijack poker mystery card.
Yeah, very disciplined for JT. I think I'm sticking it in there with that 9-8 offsuit, just fearing I might wake up with some absolute trash in the big blind.
He got what he was hoping for, that Scott went all in.
Yeah, could get another ladder up.
Scott's likely to be in good shape here. Let's see what we're looking at.
Did we see an ace-queen fold there? Was that a misread? Swore I saw that. Maybe I'm smoking
our
again.
3-seat is away from the table.
That's what it was. Okay. Scoop had the ace-queen.
All right, a dominated jack here.
How about a flop for ace-queen had he been at the table?
Ooh.
But that...
Yeah, that could have changed things.
Yeah, could have changed things quite a bit.
But Chris likely not in the pot if ace-queen is in the pot. And Scott's going to double up here.
And thank you for having to go potty or something, Scoop, because I'm still in the tournament, he says. Yeah, if that was correct, if that's really what I saw, y'all let me know if you also saw the ace-queen fold.
Somebody rewind that. See what the heck happened.
Pretty sure I saw an ace-queen.
We don't have rewind in the booth.
Scoop would have flopped Broadway, flopped the joint, knocked out a player, and JT would have had a ladder up. How about that?
So a nice double up there for Mr. Scott. He's up to 350K. So he's got just a little bit of wiggle room, but he's under the gun.
3 players now over $1 million. Yeah, the lights that normally interact around the table are kind of shorting out tonight, so we're just, I think, going to have the lights off. It normally tells the players when the action's on them. Kind of a cool feature, but
it's cool when it's working. Michael's got a button and an ace-queen. Uh-oh, we got a little freeze out. Come on, internet. Michael will raise it up on that button. So Michael has 3-bet here from the button with ace-queen, 140,000 to go. Scoop the original raiser with king-queen, a dominated hand. He will make the call. We'll see a flop. We get a flop of 4, 7, 6, 2 clubs. Michael's got the ace of clubs. Michael able to continue there from the button and takes it down. Nice pot for him. 3-bet pre-flop. Build it up, take it down. Nice job.
We got the $175 15K guaranteed tournament going on also right now.
That's right. We were talking about our quality daily tournaments here at TCH Dallas, and we forgot to mention that one.
Yep, can't get up here early enough or don't want to fire in this big one. You can fire in that afternoon one for great value there. 175 for 15K guarantee. It's 5,100 up top tonight in that one.
So they're blowing away the guarantee.
Yeah,
again.
124 entries in that one. Chris, big chip stack and position. He's going to rip it into the blinds.
I've got a suited ace. You shorties are not going to get a free flop.
Does show the ace of hearts. And takes it down. And what did that leave our 8-seat with? Just absolute crumbs over there for JT. 48. He's got 2 big blinds and a tickler.
2 blinds and a tickler. All right, already seven-handed at tonight's final table, coming at you from Texas Card House, Dallas. The big one, the greatest weekly tournament in all the land. Scoop under the gun with queens. He's going to raise to 50,000.
Hello, ladies. And JT is glad to see an ace-jack here.
Ace-jack definitely worthy of getting in a stack of 2 blinds and a tickler. So he's going to go for it with ace-jack.
Yeah, and no reason to get out of line here with David with tens.
Yeah, David will just make the call here.
So a couple of big pairs already. JT looking for an ace or a straight or of some kind.
Deuce 3, 6 could be trouble for the tens if a side pot happens to break out. And Scoop will likely bet his queens. He does, 50,000.
Yeah, and you're always wondering if you're the guy with tens. That, you know, why is this guy trying to bet into a dry side pot here?
Definitely feels like danger when that happens, but you're liking your tens, right? It's an overpair.
He's increasing the bet.
Going to go for 3 blue chips now. That's 75,000.
Oh, that looks so fishy, though, right? Like just a little bit more than it was the last time.
Why is he firing here?
It's like, does he know we're supposed to kind of knock this player out? I can't fold. So right now, Scoop is milking.
Jack of hearts here on the river, and we may see...
Check, check this time. Tens, queens, and ace-jack. So ace-jack is going to be eliminated. JT got a couple of ladder ups, though. He was short this whole time, so didn't really get to see much of JT actually playing, you know, like he would like to have at a final table. But he did get 2 ladder ups from 1240 all the way up to 1575. So a couple of $100 extra bucks there for JT with that ladder up. Great job. 1575 is what he's taking home, and hope we'll see again.
Congrats. Nice job, JT. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. Making 7th place out of 148 entries.
1820 now locked up for the 6 remaining players. Rebel Poker saying there is no...
There should be Rebel. It's just probably not on the calendar yet.
Yeah, I think they're trying to figure out if they're going to move it up or leave it the last weekend. I know Memorial Day is coming up, so... keep an eye on that schedule. I would imagine the even bigger one will happen, just not exactly sure which weekend. All right, Chris in the cutoff here. He just calls with pocket 3s. David, small blind with ace-jack. Very worthy of a 3-bet, and pardon me, that's not a 3-bet. He just raised over the limper. So ace-jack is good here, and we'll take it down.
Yeah, good chunky sizing there. Went with 150.
Yeah, don't limp on my ace-jack in the small blind. He bumped it up pretty good to end that sucker.
So the 9 seat now did get a little double close to a second ago. So he's got right around 15 big blinds. Actually, under that now, it's 12 big blinds. It's now 15, 30, 30.
There you go. He's kicking and scraping over there in the 9 seat, and he's outlasted 3 opponents here at the final table. So laddering up while he's kicking and scraping, and he's got a shot.
What's up, ADHD? Merc, indeed. Rebel Poker, I got your answer, buddy. We will indeed have the even bigger one this month. So just got the answer. Date has not been set yet, but I imagine it might be the week before Memorial Day. Or they may just say heck with it and just do it anyway because we crush it regardless.
Well, I think Memorial Day is officially the 3rd weekend of the month. The 4th weekend of the month kind of ends right there, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever, without the week after Memorial Day. So yeah, keep an eye on the schedule.
Yeah, Memorial Day is on Monday the 26th. So if I were to be a guessing man, not a betting man, but a guessing man, I'd say the 27th might kick it off or 28th. But calendar will be up shortly. Even bigger one happening in May. Another shot at a big, big payday for a $300 buy-in tourney. Multi-day. Last month was like $54,000, which was quote-unquote a smaller top prize for...
Poor guy had to win $54,000.
Yeah.
from a $300 buy-in.
Raise 70.
All right, Chris under the gun with ace jack. Raises it up, 70,000 now to go. That's 3x and a tickler, 3.5 here.
Call.
Brian's going to call with suited canooters.
Yeah, blinds are at 1530.
They've gone up. Okay,
They
pardon
have.
me. Yeah, we have a new level. 25 minutes remaining in this level.
Check. Check.
Queen, Jack, 9. So a fun little flop here. Michael's going to land the best of it with King, Queen. Chris lands middle pair with his ace, Jack.
Backdoor spades. Both players playing a little sneaky.
And it goes check, check, just to see a king on the turn. Top twosies for Michael, but four-liners sitting out there staring at all the players.
Bet 75.
Michael with top two going to lead out here.
Got a side glance from Chris.
I ain't scared of no ghost.
And nothing the 6-7 of diamonds can do there. So Michael's going to take that one down. Nice 315K pot. Ronnie B saying he likes watching these tournaments. They're in his price range, and he's picking up a couple of tips. Yeah, these are fun because normally when we get to these final tables, you know, it's rare that you'll have just somebody with just a crazy chip lead and everybody's short.
Right.
You know, there's often a lot of kind of middling stacks where there is some playability, where players can still raise and potentially fold if they get 3-bet or 4-bet. And that's definitely, you know, you want to be able to 3-bet and fold at times and you know, keep your style of play, you know, kind of wide and you know, have all your tools available to you at a final table. And if you get to the table short, it makes that hard. But the blinds were at what, 8-16 when we started,
Right.
so everybody had a little bit of playability with their stacks, except for the super shorty.
Yeah, and he mentions another good point. That's just the affordability of these tournaments, right? I mean,
For
you're
sure.
not going to...
The value is just
It's a great value, and you're not going to find a ton of players with just like Hendon Mob superstars or anything like that. It's a lot of regular Joes that enjoy competing in affordable tournaments for us regular folks, and it's a good spot to be in.
Already? Something's up.
Yeah, that's not fair.
It just changed. The blind just changed. Now it changes again.
little computer glitch. Looks like it's making the blinds go up again. The players are noticing that mid-hand, but action is on Brian. He's got
Yeah,
the
it should be
king jack
about-
of diamonds.
I'm playing 30 bet.
Should be about 22 minutes since in this blind level remaining. A while ago, we noticed that they went up when I didn't know they went up.
No. We've barely been playing 30 or 40.
Fun little hand here, though, cooking up.
So
Brian's got
blind
king
just
jack and the
changed
cutoff.
to 15, 30.
Makes it 60,000 to go.
20, 40. We haven't played 30 minutes with that one. Huh? You're playing 15, 30? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 1530 is the correct level currently. So fun one here. Brian raised it up with the king jack of diamonds, and Michael 3-bet.
We were coming back from the break.
It's like he threw a extra 100 on top, made it 160.
And then we had a break.
Yeah,
we had a
160,
break.
160.
It has been an hour since we called it up.
Heads up.
We played 3 minutes.
Action's catching up there. There you go. And Brian is going to call. And how about a flop of king jack 5 for the king jack?
Pretty good flop for king jack.
Ooh, hello.
And now we have outs. It's never easy.
225.
No, never easy. And checking flop is going to give Michael those extra outs there. You see the screen's going a little wild. There you go. 14 outs now.
And it looks like Brian has bet, what's that amount? 225,000 here into almost 400,000.
And we're going to go to a river here as Michael makes the call. A lot of outs. Can Brian fade them?
Open-ended. set outs, flush outs, and we get a 4 of diamonds.
Wow, Brian is going to slow down and check.
Oh, you didn't do anything? You just fixed yourself?
So that,
All in and
yeah.
a call. Wow. Michael went for it, sensing weakness.
Yeah, nice little check trap there from Brian.
And that is going to do it because Brian has him covered.
And that's going to be a
Wow.
monster pot. Monster.
And Michael will tell you himself that's probably a misstep on his part, but he knew the 10s probably weren't going to get it done. He thought maybe Brian might have had just a jack or maybe the ace of hearts with a jack. And, yeah, jam there for Michael. Doesn't work. Gets snap called by Brian with 2 pair, and that is going to do it for Michael. Shout out to Michael's family, who always jumps in the chat and has a lot of fun with us. He is going to finish in 6th place for $1,820. Congratulations once again, Michael, on another final table. And we know we'll see you again because it seems like this is your home.
Yeah, nice job, Michael. And go blue. Shout out for Michael.
We have about 3 times now.
Our boy Lego joining us. What's going on, Lego?
See those hearts out there.
Set for on September 9th, I believe. No go blue on September 9th. All right, Brian going to get back to work. He's not even close to stacking all those chippies, but next hand's up, and he's got a suited ace-9 of clubs. He'll make it 80,000 to go. Chris.
Yeah, pretty good hand, 5-handed, the ace-9. Must have been a misread there.
Yeah, it had to be a misread. Chris is not throwing ace-king in the muck right there.
And pretty okay. Chris did. It says he did fold ace king, but we don't believe it.
75.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that he just has no interest in playing right now until the shorty gets through the blinds. But whew. Big ace here on the turn. The ace of hearts.
Yeah, evidently it's the case ace. That's
And
what we're being
Brian flops that flush draw. Deuce, deuce, 4 with 2 clubs. But now David with the best ace.
We were down to 2 tables. He was, I guess when we did the 3-table redraw, he was really pushing around.
told. Battle of the aces here.
Pretty good stacks here. Going at it. Queen of diamonds.
Check.
Wow.
And that's going to be a chopportunity.
He always had enough chips to be able to do it. So.
So the queen on the river will give these players a chop. David shakes his head a bit,
Yes.
but beats the heck out of a club.
Sense of relief for Brian though as well, as you know, more money being put in that on that turn card could have been dangerous.
Play big pots, we're not stacking chips.
Oh, okay, there you go. Richard letting us know that he was actually away from the
He
table.
was actually away.
So he
Okay.
just got back, so he did miss out on hitting that case ace there.
Well, and Scott's making some money off of it, by the way.
Scott is. Absolutely.
Yeah, at least 2 players have been eliminated since that particular hand. I think. I know at least 1 right there.
Fold. Fold.
All right, Brian on the massive heater now. He's up to 2.36 million.
Under the gun, limping.
Now that he's got those now that he's got those chips stacked,
Big Jason Witten fan maybe calling with the 8 deuce offsuit.
he is rocking the 8 deuce.
Under the gun.
I have a feeling I don't think he
Okay,
called.
he did not call. So there you go.
Yeah, our
It's gonna-
graphics said that he called, throwing us a curveball there, but pretty sure he's in the muck.
There we go. See how it corrects itself.
Which
Beautiful.
makes more sense that he's in the muck. So David gets to raise from the button there and take it down.
Down to 5 through just 29 hands. We're on hand number 30 now.
Just hang. Fold.
Scott continuing to look at really non-playable hands. He's going to let that go.
Raise. 90,000.
Lego chilling in Destin, Florida. Man. Toes in the sand. Hope you're having a good time, Bubba.
Yeah, very nice. Thanks for checking us out, even while you're in Destin, man. Have a cold one for us, lemonade or whatever.
Hello.
Bunch of diamonds out there now. David raised from the button with this ace-4, and he's got the big one.
Ace high flush. No diamond for Brian, so that is the nuts for David. Wrong color. Show him that 4 clubs. Alexis Brown saying, thanks always for the stream. Good luck, everyone. Well, yeah, thank you guys again for Team Brown joining and rooting on Michael from afar. And speaking of from afar.
And we'll see you again shortly.
Yeah, we will see you again for sure, as we know he will be back on a final table. But speaking of from afar, Lego started it off, letting us know he's watching from Destin, Florida. Let us know where you're watching from. I know Mitchell A. was out in the room earlier. Hopefully still in that second tournament this afternoon. Let us know where you're watching from, though. Give your town a shout out. Scott's all in, RJ, with the computer hand.
Let's do it. He's ripping it with Queen 7. Of my understanding of the computer hand, half the hands are worse, half the hands are better. And no one likes to get called when you rip it with Queen 7.
His cards are live, and his suits actually are both live.
All right, so Chris in the big blind here with that ace-5, so he will make the call. Scott's going to be at risk.
Yeah.
4, 5, 8. Scott picks up some gutter ball outs here. 2 pair now for Chris. Got to hit the gutter ball.
6 ball, no.
3 of clubs, no help. 2 pairs going to get it for Chris, and that's going to be another elimination here at this final table, the big one. Knocking players out left and right.
Great job there, Scott. Another ladder up for him.
Look at that.
2175.
Up to 2,100.
5th place.
Hanging on to that short stack. Alligator blood made him some real money there. 2175. Nice job, Scott.
Great job, Scott. And if that was your first time on our final table, man, congrats, man. Hope it's not your last, man. Keep firing at these tourneys. Hope to see you in another one.
All right, and our first real ladder up on the pay scale, as we are now 27.95 locked up for the players. 4 remaining.
Stafford, Virginia in the house,
There we
and
go.
so is Lake Havasu, Arizona, the beautiful Lake Havasu. I still got to go visit that place.
The ladies, the LPGA, are playing at a golf course this week.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the city. Ivine, something like that, Utah. Southwest corner of Utah.
Gotcha.
It's called Black Desert Golf Course. I have now put that on my list of places I have to go.
That is one of my favorite parts of the country. That area, kind of Utah area. I mean, the Four Corners obviously is great.
And you don't realize desert is in Utah, but it's like 2 hours from Vegas, so it's
gorgeous.
It's desert.
Lake Powell. If you don't go to Lake Havasu, go to Lake Powell. That's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to in my life. Gorgeous.
I will be playing that course. Someday.
The Felt Reaper is indeed alive. Killing folks.
All right, Brian's got a big old stack. He's got pocket 8s under the gun. He's going to make it 60,000 to go. Chris has ace 8 on the button. Both these players, a lot of chippies here. Chris going to 3-bet.
And Brian, four-handed, not going to play back at him anymore. Just going to call here.
Scoop in the big blind, let go of the ace 7. 5, 6 deuce. Pretty good flop here for Brian. Chris bringing the heat.
Looks a little chunkier than it is because it's a white stack. So those are stacks of 5K chips.
Looks like 150K is the bet. Brian makes the call. He's not going anywhere yet. 9 of diamonds here on the turn.
Check, check.
10 of diamonds on the river. No diamond for either opponent. Brian looks like...
Yeah, Brian was just kind of in check call
Yeah,
mode.
it looks like he was nonchalantly hating that turn and river, but...
Just didn't want to put any more in case there was an over. I think he was just more worried about an overpair.
We still get check, check, and takes it in showdown, and not a skinny rabbit. There's some meat on that bone. 695,000 in that pot. So Brian's heater continues. He's up to nearly 2.7 million now.
Speaking of skinny rabbits, RJ,
Uh-huh.
you ever eaten rabbit?
No. Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
My mom just got back from Belgium and Netherlands and had rabbit for the first time, and she didn't know it until after she was done with her meal, and she felt terrible because she thinks bunny rabbits are so adorable.
Right.
And, you know, we just had Easter last
Yeah.
month, but...
She said, man, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. We're on hand number 34. We're blowing through this, but if you guys are bored, let us know what the most crazy or exotic animal that you've eaten is.
Oh, dear.
And sorry, bad hunters. I mean, vegetarians, if we're offending you.
And we're still giving your hometown shout out as well.
For sure.
So let us know where you're from. Let us know what crazy exotic animals you've eaten.
Or, you know, if it's an exotic plant, you can tell us that too.
There you go. We'll go for that.
Plants have feelings.
All right, 667. Scoop's going to be open-ended. Not much working for Brian. Chris going to check the suited ace-8. And we get an 8 on the turn here. Could have a little spice to it as Scoop now has top pair and open-ended. Brian brings in the heart flush.
King of heart and the bottom end of the open-ender, right? 5, 6, 7, 8 there.
And Chris is like, I thought I would like that card.
We're getting foobarred out in Baltimore, Maryland.
What's up, Baltimore?
Going to a river here. Oh, wow.
King on the river, so Brian's going to get the check mark if we go to showdown.
And Scoop's thinking he shouldn't have too many kings here, right? Well, he does because he had the king of hearts.
Yeah, Scoop's going to bet, but not bet enough here. Brian still, he's going to look that one up easily with the king 5. Bingo, bango. The heat continuing in the 5 seat.
Brian is hot.
Now over 3 million in chips.
All right. Aviva saying go David. All right. Got a David fan.
Richard mentioning that he's knocked down some alligator before.
Alligators is definitely good. So I've got 2 that are my most exotic animals that I've eaten. And I actually ate them both in America, not anywhere else. Had them in Houston at an exotic meats restaurant. And I had kangaroo. Not baby kangaroo. I didn't eat little Joey. But I had kangaroo and I had camel.
That is interesting.
Yeah, had some camel.
I don't even know. But, had some old hunter buddies. Like in college, I'm sure they fed me something extravagant, but I don't know. I guess I'm a lazy eater. I just eat food. Ace 7, 9. Scoop's going to land the ace 8. Chris is going to have middle pair with his jack 9.
That's 60.
Definitely not going to go anywhere. Oh, all in. Call. Wow, that escalated quickly, says Ron Burgundy.
Escalated quickly.
Ron Burgundy.
We're doing this thing. Chris is all in.
The kangaroo, William, was actually better.
All right, Chris going to need some help. Jacker 9. Queen on the turn. Deuce on the river, and no help for Chris.
That is going to do it for Chris. I mentioned Chris was in our Friday night tournament last night, finished in 3rd place. He is going to finish in 4th place tonight.
Well, there we go. Back-to-back top 5s for Chris. Nice job.
Yeah, a little bigger prize than he got last night as well. It's $27.95 for Chris. Great job, buddy. It was a pleasure playing with you last night, and good show here tonight. Just ran into an ace there. We will see you again. And then there were 3.
Then there were 3. Players are locked up a prize of $4,640. So we're making some real money now. 4,640 locked up, 12,405 up top.
All right, so Dahoud says he's had frog legs. Excellent choice. It's pretty exotic. And Lego was in Australia last year at a petting zoo. Got to pet the emu, the wallaby, a kangaroo, and at the end, go to their cafe and had kangaroo on the menu.
Right?
Right after they got done
Golly.
petting kangaroos.
No holds
Time to eat
barred
one.
down there in Australia. Send you to the petting zoo and have some dessert.
Lego ate some kangaroo after petting it. That is just crazy.
That is wild.
Yep. Well, it better not have been a baby kangaroo. Don't eat little Joey.
All right, we're down to 3 players here. It's the big one coming at you from Texas Card House, Dallas.
Yeah, the final table is zooming by indeed,
Zooming.
William.
Don't jinx it.
And we have our friend, our beautiful waitress, Christina, stopping by.
Hello, Christina.
Christina, what is the most unique animal you've ever eaten? We've talked about kangaroo and frog legs already in the chat.
I would rather say I had cow's tongue.
Here you go.
Cow's tongue it is.
Cow's tongue,
Cow's-
lengua.
Lingua.
I wouldn't recommend it, but some people do like it. If you love menudo, you're
Menudo.
good, bro.
Ooh, menudo. Ooh, ooh.
Other than that, don't get it because it's so slimy.
Slimy?
all the way.
Slimy cow tongue in
we
the
go.
chat.
There we go.
All right, well, we've got 3 of the best here fighting it out for the 12,000 up top. What's our pay jump, RJ, for the next man out? 46.40 is going to be the prize for the next gentleman out, and then 78.15, and then that big prize up top, 12,405 smackaroonies.
Please pardon my double click when that happens.
Brian does have a 2-to-1 chip lead over both
And-
of these guys.
And yeah, thank you to the lovely Christina for swinging by and giving us her recommendations of exotic animals.
Wait, no. Wait, so
No, menudo is stomach lining, I think. No, gracias. All right, flopping straights here. Look at
Let's
this
go.
flop.
Flopping straights, 5-6.
Oh, that's a scary card there.
Yeah.
Brian doesn't like that one.
He's got enough chips that he's not scared of any card right now. He's going to hang around. Scoop bet his 8 there on the turn. Not liking things on the river.
He makes the call, and
Brian
is
goes to
just
Value Town here on the river, and
another big pot going Brian's way, so he is running good.
more chippies for Brian.
Lego saying, no me gusta lengua y menudo. Ooh, Dahoud. I didn't mean to get us so far off on this tangent
Oh,
here.
no,
but,
I knew this rabbit hole would go for a minute.
But yeah, we had trash pandas being eaten. That's what we call raccoons, the trash pandas. They love the trash.
Yeah,
How was it, Dahoud? Was it actually on a menu, or did you just get him out in your alley? And wow, West Wing
handyman bringing the heat.
West Wing handyman, he's bringing the heat. Top this one, folks.
Top
Lion,
shelf from the safari.
Lion, and your second cousin, the baboons. You know, goodness gracious, on a safari in Africa.
All right, Scoop's got pocket 4s on the button here. He raised it up 75,000. Of course, 3-handed here. The button goes first. Always fun.
Let us know in the chat if you are a friend or you know Brian or David really well. I don't think, RJ, we've seen them on a final table that you and I have commentated. Seen them in the room, I believe. But
Right, that's the way
yeah.
I feel like I've seen him in the room, definitely.
Scoop, we've seen a million times on this final
Yep.
table.
Definitely seen Scoop. Brian has, I feel like Brian has made an appearance on TCH Live. I feel like I recognize the Brett Favre mannerisms there.
Could be my cousin, huh? Ace Jack Dewey.
Scoop lands his ace here and checks it to the button. Brian will bet. Scoop makes the call after landing his ace-5, and he gets a friendly turn. 5 of spades, 2 pairs now for Scoop. 5 of diamonds on the river. Fill her up.
Fill her up.
That's a boat.
The house is full.
I'm not sure how much is that. About 175?
200.
200. 5 holes.
Dahoud says the raccoon was delicious. All right, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, I believe the Crazy Country boys that I knew growing up, they probably fed me,
Squirrel.
if I remember right, squirrel was definitely in there. Yeah, squirrel and lots of duck and stuff like that.
Duck is delicious. Duck is definitely good.
1530 still.
Deer meat's good. Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, all the jerky they would.
We might have just lost a handful of viewers who are
I know, right?
who are vegetarians and vegans. We apologize. We went off on a little tangent there, but Dina's just knocking people out left and right. We had to have something else to talk about.
You never know what
spice up the
rabbit
live
hole
stream.
we're gonna find here
Pun
on
intended.
TCH Live.
All right, we got a nice hand developing here. Brian and Scoop, Ace, Queen, King, Jack,
Letters
That's it.
and
and numbers. 8, 7, 3, 2 hearts. And our graphics are a bit off there. I believe that's 8, 7, 3 of diamonds. There we go. There's a good look at that flop. 5 of hearts now, completing a bit of a flush draw. But
yeah, not the ace
Brian going to be looking for another one. He'll probably hang around here with that king of hearts.
and no queen on that board either. There we go. It is the 8.
So there's only 3 hearts there. 10 of spades. No help for anyone.
Well, ace high is still going to be good here. It's showing that Brian's going to win this hand with a check mark, but he does not have a flush.
Does not have a... Okay, yeah, that's why it's showing that. It's because the graphics have misled us on the 4th heart, but there's only 3 out there. Scoop.
Mine's up.
Scoop taking that down with the ace high.
Yeah, best hand takes it down.
24 years.
Brian taking a little hit, but he's definitely still got a good lead over these 2 guys here. And reminder once again, we'll put up the graphic in a second, but that big tournament tomorrow at Las
Biggin.
Colinas.
It's a biggin.
TCH Social, same guarantee, 30K guarantee on a $250 buy-in.
That's right.
It is going to be a Star Wars themed tournament for May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
So hopefully the prize pool should be similar to what you're seeing tonight. Maybe down just a little bit, a fraction, but it's going to be close for only a $250 buy-in. So
Absolutely.
that is
Starting at 11 o'clock tomorrow.
That is one heck of a value. 11 o'clock tomorrow at Las Colinas. There you go. TCH Social, Las Colinas, the $250 buy-in. 30K starting stack, 30-minute levels. That's tomorrow at 11 a.m. May the 4th be with you.
That's right.
Be with y'all.
Press the button.
You are a space nerd. Come on out. Get your Star Wars on.
And, of course, when you think of a 30K guarantee, you can kind of
Similar should be a similar prize
you can
pool. I
kind of
think,
put that
tomorrow,
prize
yeah.
pool to this. We had 44,400 in this one, so it won't be too far behind this one. And there's a chance it could get this high.
Floor 29.
Floor 29.
Uh-oh. Did I just hear them talk about the C word?
Oh, dear.
I still have.
We don't like the C word.
They want to do see an ICM job.
They're going to look at some numbers. Uh-oh. But Dina's going to keep on dealing, so let's see what happens here.
Check.
King 9 deuce here, the flop, 1 heart, as they're talking about possible ICM math. Going to play this hand out.
5,000 yes.
Yeah, Lego, we know you would definitely be there, brother. Should be a good time. I wish we advertised it a little bit better. I think
Yeah, we did mention it a little bit on social media, but yeah, we were talking to some of our players in Dallas and Las Colinas today, and
no clue.
yeah, they weren't aware.
So we try to get out the word and hope that the folks that can, of course, you don't have to show up right at 11. So the church folk or folks that wake up a little bit later can always
Absolutely, yeah. Registration
come
will
at
last
noon, come at 1.
Yeah, registration will last 3 or 4 hours,
Yeah.
so feel free to come a little fashionably late.
Yeah, it's still a 30-minute blind structure. So so they are going to look at some numbers real quick and see. They're going to look at some numbers real quick and see about a chop. And then we'll go from there. Let's put that booger back up there, our jizzle. Yeah, so that's the tourney we're talking about tomorrow over at TCH Social in Las Colinas. I still know people who haven't even been over there. They still play at Dallas.
Right.
We have some of our dealers that deal here that have never stepped foot in our sister club, which is right down the road in Las Colinas. It takes you about, what, 10, 15 minutes, depending on traffic, to get over there. So quick, easy drive over to the other location. They've got a full bar, restaurant if you haven't been. Great opportunity for a fun tournament, $250 buy-in, $30K guarantee. So looking like you probably have a chance to turn that $250 into, 10, 12K, maybe 14, just depending on how many people show up. And
juicy little bankroll builder right there.
Yeah, folks may fire multiple bullets, being that it's a smaller buy-in.
Yeah, I was playing at Las Colinas this week a little bit and had a fun visit with Mr. Allen from Allen. He was saying that this was his first week to play at Las Colinas, so we still have new players coming in there at LC. Today I went and dusted a little bit of money at the 2-2 PLO game before coming into the stream and met Brandon. Brandon was nice enough to recognize me from the stream as I was dusting away chips. So that was always fun, so shout out to him. And appreciate you guys watching and checking us out.
Yeah, they always say we have faces for radio.
I know, right?
So when they recognize the face, man, that's
yeah.
We get our voices recognized.
It's a little alarming.
That's always fun. I met some folks yesterday playing in the tournament as well, the Friday night tournament, and they definitely said that they enjoy watching the TCH live stream. And of course, we don't just stream here in Dallas. We stream at a Houston location in Austin, as well as our friends down in the Rio Grande Valley, down in Edinburgh. If you guys have summer plans to go down to Padre Island, stop in Edinburgh, Texas, Rio Grande Valley, Texas Card House. Edinburgh's a nice town. It's a great location, safe parking lot. You can go next door, I think, get your haircut.
I need a haircut.
And speaking of, we got Jesus Maldonado.
There we go.
Saying saludos from McAllen.
Checking in from McAllen.
Not far from Edinburgh. So, yeah, shout out to our folks down in the Rio Grande Valley. And RJ and I keep swearing that we're going to go down there this summer.
We're going to do it. I swear.
We're going to do a little poker tour. We'll probably be.
We need to get you to learn how to play some golf, and me for that matter, because my golf's tragic.
I'll learn how to golf, and I'll teach you how to chase women on the beach. All right.
There we go.
All right.
Sounds like a week.
Sounds like a good weekend. And play a little poker just an hour away in Edinburgh. Can't go wrong. All right, looks like Dina might be getting those cards back shuffled and ready, and we're just going to keep on playing.
Let's do it. Keep on playing, baby.
Players were not loving the chop numbers that were given, and they're just going to play it out. And I know that makes my boy Lego happy, because we don't like the C word. We don't like chops. Even though I chopped last night's tournament, because I was happy with that Texas Card House coin they gave me for first place.
A little over 24,000 amongst the top three prizes tonight. So that's what these three players are battling it out here for.
You're right. And they were not going to do an even chop. It was going to be an ICM. And I think David and Scoop, may not have liked the number.
Sometimes those ICMs come out tough when one guy has a ton of chips, like Mr. Brian does right here. So
absolutely.
David and Scoop might have said, yeah, let's keep playing a little bit.
Yeah,
let's take our chances.
Anybody's tournament at this point, and usually once you bring it up at kind of these levels here, it's kind of a wrap. We're not going to bring it up again. So.
Ace King on the button for Scoop. Ace King going to make it 110,000 on the button. Brian will call with Jack 9 of diamonds. Two hearts here for Scoop. 6-9 deuce. Brian's going to land top pair. Scoop's got nut flush draw with Ace King. Jack of spades. We got us a hot mess right here. Brian now with top two. Scoop, ace, king in the hearts, and a 10 of
Oh.
hearts on the river. Big bet here from Brian on the river with top 2. Pardon me, it's downgraded just a bit. Jack 9.
250, 250.
And here comes the hammer.
Scoop reaching for a call and now reaching for a raise. And it's a big one.
About 600K on top.
So that'll put Brian in a bit of a squirm. Why did the hammer raise come in right here?
Wow.
Nice lay down there from Brian. He knows something's up.
We're going to clap here because that is a top-notch fold for our man Brian there, getting away from what, before was top 2 pair. What a fold. Obviously, King, Queen gets there. The hearts get there. What a fold there for Brian.
The 10 was a bigger card, possibly. Yeah, just a nasty card, nasty bet. Didn't want to mess with it, and boom, just like that, easily in the mud.
Scoop's thinking, how did you fold that?
When you're playing with confidence, you can make bets and make folds with a lot of confidence. Brian did that right there. Nice job.
Yeah, a lot of times on that turn card, chips might get in.
Yeah, they went check, check. Kept that pot from getting crazy.
Wow, the 9 triz.
9 triz.
Our buddy Aaron McAvoy's hand, the 9 triz, has landed.
Money McAvoy in the house.
Scoop needing a jack or an 8, but he's going to think top pair is good here. He's thinking he's on a heater.
Yeah, we got some top pair madness going on right now, 3-handed. Love to see it.
Yeah, definitely not folding top pair yet. 3-handed, strong hands here. All right.
So yeah, David check raised that flop.
Some more outs coming in for Scoop.
We've cooked this pot up to 520,000 now.
Is he going to go half pot? Maybe a little bigger? A little bigger.
Yeah, he is trying to end this thing. Does not want to get counterfeited. Got a strong 2 pair here. If you're hanging around with a jack, I'm going to make you pay for it.
80% pot here.
And a lot of times when you put a little extra cheese on that, for some reason your opponent feels like it's draw heavy, right? We all seem to fall into that, whether or not it's true. Ace of spades here, no help. But a bit of a scary card. David will check now. Scoop checks.
Surprised.
9 triz going to take it down. 1.3 million in that pot. Nice hand for David.
Thought he might put a little something out there again. Maybe he just didn't want to get jammed on and have to make a decision for his tournament life there. But yeah, David is now leapfrogged over Brian and is our new chip leader.
There we go. Just like that, things can even up really, really quick. 2.3 to 2.2 now, and Scoop's got plenty of chips as well, 1.37.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna dig in, folks. Nestle down. We got some action.
And speaking of words to start with A action, how about a couple of red aces? Fresh off of a pot, hadn't even stacked his chips yet, and looks down at the Redbirds on the button. And I mean, King Queen is in there. Look at this hand.
Yeah, we see some fun stuff here. 3-handed. Here we got King Queen taking on aces, and we get more top pair madness. King Queen lands.
This is going to be tough stuff here for Scoop.
81% of the equity here for David and his aces. Small continuation bet here, 50,000. Trying to set that bait.
And he is going to see where he's at here. You know, no need to jam. Pot's still small enough. He does raise to 200,000.
Yeah, and just last hand, David got to check raise Scoop on the flop. He will jam it. He's going to try to go for it here. And Scoop makes the call.
All right.
Trouble indeed. Scoop almost beats him in the pot. Makes the call here with King Queen, and he's going to be at risk.
Needs a king or a queen to survive.
No help with the 6. No help with the 5,
Wow.
and that is going to be another elimination. David will benefit from this one. Mr. Scoop eliminated in 3rd place.
Great job there, Scoop. Just ran into it, back-to-back hands. Of course, the 9 triz running into, or that he ran into, and then he runs into 3-handed, a huge hand there. He has king, queen.
Huge.
And
but 3-handed action here is flat out bananas here, and Scoop finds himself eliminated in 3rd place, $4,640 prize. Great job for Scoop. Great run. And just like that, we're going to be heads up now.
And then there were 2. And like I said, we're not sure if David or Brian have been on our final table before. I know David's got a family member in the chat right now. I think Aviva was rooting him on. Is this his first time on our final table on our live stream? Let us know.
Yeah, Aviva fired up there about that elimination. David, the beneficiary of it. And I am pretty positive I've seen Brian on stream before. I know I've seen Brian in the room. Definitely familiar with his face. But I feel like I've also seen him on stream before. All right, 7-8-4, another top pair. Just the 8. Still good for top pair.
How about the 8 triz?
8 triz, now 2 pairs.
A little scary because a 6 now makes a straight,
Yeah,
and spades come in.
Little rough, but he'll bet it. All right, a steady chip lead here for David now. He's got 3.8 million. Brian's still over 2 million, so he's got plenty of chips to work with.
Yeah, mound of chips acquired over there in our 2-seat. Hand number 49, RJ, and we're already down to 2 players. Heads up battle on our Saturday night big one tournament here from Texas Card House, Dallas.
I'm for it.
And I'm for this too. I love, no matter what you're holding, putting in a raise on the button. He's going to run into resistance, though. Brian has kind of the real hand here. A couple of face cards.
Yeah, king, queen, obviously a premium hand. Heads up.
He's going to put a little something extra on it. 100,000 on top and take it down.
David says no thanks. I'll just take the train in the muck. Nice hand for both players there. Well played.
Hey, John, you want to start the new table or you want the break?
We're heads up. 148 entries today, down to 2 players now. Locked up a prize of $7,815. Still battling it out for that top prize, $12,405. Brian on the button with pocket 7s. He'll open it up. David 6 Dewey doesn't want to mess with it. Aviva rooting on David, but in the chat she said, I'm not sure. I don't know if he's been there before or not. We don't know either.
Ace, Queen, Dewey. These are the fun hands to kind of watch players navigate where neither player has landed anything.
We've been very fortunate that players keep landing top pairs and middle pairs to get the action going at this final table. And here we have
third pair.
A bit of a runt as David turns a pair.
And the players are doing the fun part. Got to get their identification out because...
Made it to the payouts where you get verification.
Yeah, made it to the top payouts where you got to report a little something or...
Yeah,
the club could
we
get in
don't
a
know
little
much
trouble.
about that,
Yeah,
but we
don't
do
much.
know you got to get verified now.
And John's going to grab their IDs now. That way, once they're actually done playing, he can get them out of here and paid. They will be taking home their prizes tonight. Cash money, if they so choose.
Your chips don't have to be all neatly stacked. Unless that's what you wanted. Cool. Option. All right.
Deuce, 3, king. This is all diamonds here, so danger for Brian because David has flapped a flush.
Yeah, and you know, most people will tell you you're not supposed to fold pairs when you flop one, but he is in big trouble.
So David bets his flush there. Brian makes the call with bottom pair. 6 of spades here. No help for Brian, thankfully.
125.
David goes for a little extra juice this time. Brian's in the muck.
Amen. Yeah, that was a big consideration for me last night as we got to heads-up play, and Uncle Sam, we knew, had his filthy paws on that top prize, so no problem chopping it up and taking down that TCH coin that they give you when you bank a tournament.
Yep. Now I can't pick on you anymore that I've got the only coin in the room.
That's right, buddy.
Mitch has like 47 of them.
Yeah.
And you and I now have 1 each. Welcome to the club.
Yeah, they don't give coins out for 18th place and 39th place and
right.
77th place and all those other finishes, 3rd place and whatever. But yep, it's a cool thing that TCH has done, and they did it last year, and they changed the coin a little bit. So if you win a tournament, not only are you taking home all that fancy money, but you get a cool commemorative coin to add to your collection, and or you can use it as your card protector. Pretty cool coin though. Got the Texas state on one side with the flag inside of it, and then our TCH logo on the other side. I left mine at home, but RJ, look, he carries his everywhere he goes because he likes to show the ladies out at the bars. Hey, I got a tournament victory. Oh, mine's cooler. Mine's silver.
Well, you can see how often I've used it.
Yeah.
It's still wrapped up and everything.
That's still cool. RJ's got the 2024 coin, the gold coin. I believe mine's platinum.
Yeah, we'd show it to you if we knew how to work these cameras, but
no, we don't want to show them the old school one. We want to show them the 2025 one.
That's right. We'll save it for next time. We'll both have our coins on us. You guys can take a peek at these cool trophies Texas Card House is firing out. It's the hijack poker mystery card, but it's there now. It's a 5 of diamonds. Ace deuce lands here for David. 4-5 now, picking up a double gutter.
Uh-oh, RJ. Ladies buy you drinks when you bust out that coin?
I am not that cool. But I think you're giving Eric some ideas. All right, 4-5 with the double gutter here. Dave does not want to land 2 pair. Deuce or a 6. No help, it's an ace of hearts. Giving David trips and the check mark. So yeah, big river here for Dave. He will bet it from the button, take it down. Brian missing his double gutter. He's stuck with 5 high.
All right, RJ, quit picking your nose. I'm about to put us on camera here.
Okay, do it.
Set up
Maybe.
something. There we go.
Hey, there we are.
All right.
We got it.
So here is the cool Texas Card House Tournament Champion Coin 2025. And on the other side,
man,
got the cool logo with all the suits.
That is
letting you know that You got first place. How about that?
That is a pretty sweet
Good
upgrade.
Stuff. Yeah.
Pretty sweet upgrade from the last year's gold version. So yeah, welcome. Congrats, buddy.
And some people don't give a crap about the coin. They just want that big old top prize. Either way.
You know, I didn't feel like I did, but it was fun when they gave it to me, right?
When you get both.
Yeah.
It's like a double whammy.
You get the money and the cool little coin trophy.
All right, David going to take that one down as he's continuing to build the Great Wall of China, it looks like, over there.
Yeah, so Brian made some hay with that big run that he was on earlier. Bit of a heater. And now David finding some heat and has taken a pretty good advantage in chips. 4.1 to 1.6 now.
All right, let's see if these cards will start cooperating a little bit, and we'll get a little crash course collision. That was a tongue twister.
Do it.
Hand number 58 here.
I have a tongue twister every other sentence, I think. I can't talk tonight.
David now with over a 2-to-1 chip lead. Brian's got his work cut out for him. I bet Brian's never been told he looks like Brett Favre.
Right. He may not, like if you see him in real life up close, but on the screen, I get Brett Favre vibes.
Hey, Jen, this is Brett. hey, just calling you back. Give me a call, Jen. Poor Brett.
Out of control.
Poor
you sound
Brett.
just like him. Have you been practicing that one?
Yeah, well, I used to get told I looked like Brett from about the time I was 16, so I had to do a Brett impersonation. The Mad TV skit they did making fun of Brett Favre years ago. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a look up.
All right. David on the button. He gets to go first. Bumps it up with Queen 10 offsuit.
Any hands worthy of raising in position there, but
yeah.
Queen 10 definitely worthy.
Queen 10 definitely in the upper scale of heads up hands to play. King 5. No help to anyone. 9-6 of hearts for Brian, just basically hogwash, so he doesn't even want to mess with it. David continues and takes it down.
And we don't actually have the graphic up for what's going on in Houston in a couple of weeks, but the Poker Atlas Tour is coming to Houston. So if you happen to have stopped in and you're in the Houston area, your big tournament is coming to Houston. I believe it's May the 13th. Or maybe May 12th it starts.
Man, that'll be here before you know it.
Absolutely, that's coming up.
Coming up quick.
I'm going to be down in Houston that week for work. And not sure if I'm going to be able to fire in anything, but may have to try.
King 7-4, the top pair madness continues tonight. Brian's got top pair this time. David not much working here with the Queen 9 off. Brian will bet this turn after getting checked to him twice. Board pairs here on the turn, so that David possibly pondering if Queen High has some strength to be good here.
I don't think.
And he will raise it up.
Brian is going to fall for that, though.
Brian flopping top pair here. Got a pretty good hand.
Yeah, strong kicker with the jack. And let's see if David shuts down.
A couple of extra squiggles there from Dave. And he will bet it.
Don't think that size is
I don't think he brought the big hammer there, but he is trying just in case it was clubs on the other end. But Brian with King Jack will likely make this call, and he does.
He tells him, you're probably good because I got Queen High. And indeed, Brian going to take that one down. Yeah, ADH Poker. Yeah, Brett was definitely a legend.
Legend.
There we go. Poker Atlas Tour starting May the 14th through
Yeah.
the 26th.
You nailed it, buddy.
Yeah, May 14th through the 26th. Poker Atlas Tour. A lot of events going on down there. Texas Card House in Houston. They got a great room down there. Go check that out. It's off Westheimer. But yeah, a lot of big events. So if you are a tournament player, that would be a great opportunity to head on down to Houston, eat at some of the many, many great restaurants they have down there. A lot of good food down there. But yeah, that's a great room, great staff. And I imagine some folks from up here are going to go down there too, because we have a lot of folks that
For sure.
follow that Poker Atlas Tour. They run a great tournament series there every time they do it.
All right. David with a little bit of spice here after losing that last pot. Opens it up from the button. 6-4 of hearts. Brian makes the call with queen 5. Let's see a flop. Ace, ace, queen. Little rough on the 6-4 holdings. We'll see what Dave wants to do with it. 40,000 here from the button. Brian makes the call. Deuce of hearts on the turn, giving David the backdoor flush draw and possibly enticing him for another bet, and he does. Brian landed that queen. He's not going anywhere yet. As a matter of fact, he's going to check raise the turn with that queen. Now Dave with 2 hearts, what to do? Just a min click here from Brian. Hearts not going anywhere. 9 of clubs on the river. No help for Dave. Queen's got the check mark if we go to showdown.
600.
Brian checks. Dave's going to fire again. 600,000. And Dave does not like that Brian reached so quickly.
Yeah, a little squiggle there. Is he going to pick him off twice?
Donation mentioned, but he makes the call, and it's the right one. Wow, $2 million in that pot, and it's going to go Brian's way. What a hand.
We have, ladies and gentlemen, a new chip leader, Mr. Brian, in the seat 5 is now our chip leader.
Yeah, so they swapped the chip lead nearing the end of 3-handed action, and now Brian has regained the chip lead.
Evidently not the Great Wall of China David was building over there. It was the Berlin Wall, and Brian
is knocking it down.
Knock that wall down, sir.
All right. And there you can see those chip stacks. 3.2 million for Brian. David down to 2.7. A little bit frustrated, but still plenty of action left. And in the race here is just a slight advantage now for Brian.
Brian on a heater. Here he is, lying in top pair again. And easy fold for that dirty diaper over there, the 3 deuce. Brian hadn't even had a chance to stack the previous pot, and he's got more chips coming his way. But yeah, still anybody's tournament there. You can see David's got a ton of chips still. He's still got 2.6.
Yeah, and blinds are about to go up here. Of course, with both players holding a lot of chips, the new level will not be greatly taxing on them just yet, but
using that button, like it. Any 2 cards.
Yeah, David back to work here, 10-4 suited. Actually, with the slight lead in equity, Brian will make the call, 7-9 of clubs. Club in the window, but no help. 5-5-3 here.
Hello, Diamond.
Check, check. David now open-ended with a flush draw. Brian checks.
Gutter for Brian.
Nutter gutter. Of course, that board's paired, so it's not officially a nutter gutter, but
200.
Gutter nonetheless. It's not the 6 of hearts, it's the 6 of diamonds. So diamond draw is there for David. There's a graphics error there.
yeah, which would give him even more equity than what you're seeing there on the 77%.
Hello.
Deuce of hearts.
That'd be a straight.
It's the tiny end of it. David's got a straight. 10 high was good anyway. He was just trying to avoid an 8 or a 9. David reaches for a bet and takes it down. You reach, you win.
Let's check out the difference in pay between these two places here. We got
Check it out.
78.15 for second,
25.50.
and we've got 12.4, so just under a $5,000 pay jump. Pretty healthy though between second and first here. These guys are playing it out.
Line set, 25.50.
Play it out. Enjoying this heads-up battle here between Brian and David. Brian's on the button with Jack 3. Queen 3, 4, both players landing little pairs.
550.
David checking with his pair. 2 pair now here for Brian, and that'll give him the check mark if we go to showdown, but I think there's 4 diamonds out there.
Yeah, and David may try to rep this.
Yeah, David's been pretty active here. Heads up, he does represent the diamond and take it down. Brian doesn't mess with 2 pair. He's in the muck.
Nice bet there for David. We didn't have our most talkative table tonight, but we did have some good action hands.
Yeah, and most of them weren't around long enough to
No,
get to know one
would
another.
have got cut off in the middle of a conversation as they were getting booted.
So yeah, we probably started this heads-up match 20, 25 minutes ago.
Yes, sir. Oh,
Battle of the Queens here.
Queen 6 versus Queen 10.
Oh,
2
wow.
clubs and a 10.
Action flop here. Flush draw, second pair for David. Brian, though, with the flush draw.
So David landing a strong middle pair here. He bets 250,000 into 400,000. Brian obviously not going anywhere with that queen high flush draw, second nut draw. He does pick up some gutter outs here.
Yeah, the 9s now are live for Brian. Not a huge bet here. Yeah, it's going to be just under 300,000. So Brian is going to make the call.
4 of hearts,
Swing and
Brick
miss.
City.
Yeah, Brick City.
They go check, check. David's got some showdown value, and he will win it. 750,000 in profit, headed to David.
Yeah, we've seen players for sure on those exact flops and turns just say to heck with it. We've been playing all day long. We just want to end this thing, knockout punch. But Brian definitely playing it a little more cautious. He got a good price there to continue, and thought David may be strong and wouldn't fold if he check raised there. So
Cautious yet still engaged.
absolutely good playing between these two guys so far. I'm really enjoying it. A little back and forth.
base, 100.
it may take one of those absolute coolers to actually knock one of these guys out because they're pretty sharp.
Yeah, we've had plenty of action as they go back and forth here. David with pretty good advantage there for a quick moment, but Brian evened things up rather quickly. Now David with another chip advantage. He's up to 3.7 million now.
Wow.
7-7-8 trips for Brian. 9-4, not much working here for Dave, but Brian will check to the button. Dave bets it.
6, give us a 6.
So yeah, you can see when David gets a significant chip lead, he will be a little more active on that button. First time he had the chip lead, might have got a little too active. So that's probably in the back of his mind here, and he'll check this turn.
Brian now going to lead out on that King River. You'd think David's hand would already be in the muck, but maybe he's thinking something. Okay, he thinks better.
That's over with. What are they doing to you?
David's got himself a railbird picking on him a little bit, it looks like, but he's having a good time with
Is
it.
that the ECSU Bucks? You know that's where my brother ran at. Really? Yeah. Still lives there. Isn't that crazy? I gotta send him a picture of you wearing that shit.
We'll see if David's cards were actually scanned. He just kind of grazed the...
Yep, got one.
He only got one card to scan.
Raise.
Whatever they were worth raising. Pocket nines, there you go. He gave it a good scan that time. The old truck starter.
The old Nieners.
Raise it up, takes it down.
I appreciate it.
He started this booger just 2 hours ago.
He goes, I'll be there in 40 minutes.
Just under 2 hours.
And 30 minutes later. He showed
We've
up.
definitely had some of these final tables where we've been here for 4 and 5 hours and longer.
Yep. Yeah, somebody was asking me today, Tay said she hadn't done a lot of final tables as far as her production career has gone, but she was going to be here tonight. She's across the glass from us, and she's like, how long do those go? And I'm like, you never really know.
We got out of here in an hour and a half a couple weeks ago, and we've been on the final table for some of those larger tournaments where the players come to the final tables with tons of chips, where we've been stuck here for 5-6 hours. So
Yeah, you put us in this little cube room for 5 hours, and a lot of squirrels will roll by.
How good are those microphones?
But tonight we've had plenty of action. No squirrels, just poker.
Oh, option.
As I
Raise to 200.
start to do something else.
Oh.
There we go, a little button raise with a nice hand.
Hey, what table's Cameron at? All right. I'll be back. Okay.
some of David's friends are coming over to chat him up a little bit, root him on from the rail. Our stage here, if you'll see the view in the background of the room, it's kind of open so players can come by and kind of watch the action.
David's.
Okay.
I heard somebody say all in. I think it might have came from table 4. Pocket fives versus the dirty die produced 3. Deuce 3 landing absolutely none of it as it usually does. Pocket fives are going to be best.
He shows the 3 high.
Barely. For the fun of it, let's call it 5. Oh no, that would have been a straight 5-8.
Yeah, approaching 30 minutes now. This heads-up battle here between Brian and David. They have swapped chip leads a couple of times. David now 3.8 million, Brian 2.0. Who's going to take this down, chat? Let us know who you're rooting for, who you got. How many times are we going to exchange chip leads?
2-1 chip lead almost for David. Got those chips back that he punted away just a little bit ago. There you see his wall is being built again.
Yeah, nice job of regaining composure there and getting those chips back after you could tell he was a little bit frustrated with some of his maneuvering there that first time, but they came right back. Now he's feeling much better, as you can see.
$12,000 smile right now representing at the table.
Brian's still at work over there. He's going to bump this one up, takes it down. He's still got his game face on. Looks like both players are enjoying our heads-up battle, which is always fun. You don't get to play heads-up every day for a good pile of cash, and every now and then you find yourself doing it on stream. You might as well have a good time with it. Enjoy the battle.
Lego just keeps winning those points back.
I said gamble all the other day, and it said, you don't have any. It's like, oh, all right. Story of my life.
Uh-oh. I hear some cheering. Please tell me that means my Dallas Stars are doing something on the telly.
Right? That'd be good news.
It looks like they are going to win 4-2.
What?
3 seconds left. Maybe that was an open net goal we just got.
Okay.
I don't know.
I was going to watch it. You just crashed my recording. Lego, he's out of here. He's on the East Coast time. Good night, Lego.
Hope for better weather out there in Florida. Hope that rain clears up for you. Get some more beach time, man. Send pictures out there
Man, it's
on the
raining
internet.
everywhere right
Make us jealous. Wish I was out there in sunny, should be sunny Florida at least.
Well, we got a little break from the rain today here in Dallas, as today was absolutely perfect. Sunny and 72. Not a cloud in the sky. Drive around with your windows down. Nice job there from Dave. Getting a little skinny rabbit with deuce 5. He'll take it. All right, we got action here. Brian's on the button with pocket 10s.
Playing a little sneaky.
David, suited canuters, but they're not very big. Brian's going to limp. The limp strategy is in effect. King, queen, jack, open-ended for Brian. 3 overs.
Bet and a take it coming. There you go.
Oh, wait a minute. I need some of those. Hold on.
Well, Saturday's a big tournament day here at TCH Dallas, but we also have a lot of cash games going on. Confirmed, Dallas Stars win, baby.
Dallas Stars! Way to go, baby. Nice job, fellas. Bringing home the dub tonight. Game 7. Needed it.
Bye-bye, Colorado.
9-7 versus 9-4. And ace, queen, 5 on the flop. Yeah, the NHL got some strange playoffs. Tough to send either one of these teams going home in the first round. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Colorado out. Stars moving on. Love it.
Yeah, still 16 cash tables going on right now at TCH
That's
Dallas. Right. 3 tournament tables, including this one that you're staring at here.
Yeah,
But
plenty of time still tonight to come stack some chippies. All the TCH locations. Plenty of action going on May the 3rd, Saturday night.
And 28 tables at our sister club right now. Live cash tables going on over at Las Colinas.
Las Colinas
TCH
was
Social.
Packed earlier when I made an appearance. All right, we got some action here. David's going to land middle pair with Jack 9. Brian top and bottom. That's Queen 7.
Got the 2-piece. See if he can get the biscuit. Queen 7 has landed.
8 of diamonds here on the turn. That's going to give David a gut shot. He's going to need a 9 or a 10 here to win this, but he might like this card here as he checks the turn. Brian bets 175,000 on the button. Looks like just a call here from Dave. 8 of clubs on the river. Brian got a check mark. Queen 7 got counterfeited a bit, but still good. He'll take it.
Third pair did it.
All right, stacks evening out a little bit. David still has a lead of 1,000,000 chips. Appreciate y'all again for hanging out with us on a Saturday night.
Hey, thanks, y'all.
Smash that like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Stay in tune with all the happenings at Texas Card House locations across the state.
What's happening?
RJ and I will be back on Tuesday night for a cash game stream, 6 p.m. Tuesday nights. Come back and see us. That's where a lot of the fireworks normally are on our live stream.
Ace 3 for David on the button. Bumps it up. 200,000 to go. King 6 makes a call. We get a flop 6. 9-9.
Backdoor spade for Brian as well. He's not going anywhere.
150.
Brian checks it over to Dave. Dave continues from the button. 150,000. Nice little controlled downsized bet there. Pot getting up to 750,000. Brian going to check again. Dave reaches a little more hefty this time. 400,000 on the turn. Brian makes the call. Not a believer with just that 6. David shuts it down this time. Check, check. We go to showdown. Brian takes down another one.
A healthy one.
And yeah, so now he's back in the chip lead.
So yeah, chips are passed back and forth between these two players. Kind of smaller collisions, a lot of fender benders. A little back and forth, little bumper cars.
Yeah, just we've had a steady dose of pairs all night, right? So that's kind of how the action has been going all night, and that's what leads to this just kind of chip change, lead change, lead change.
Yeah.
And just some chips moving around on these pairs. No one getting the monsters, but pairs galore. Sounds like the cheer we heard earlier from the Dallas Stars conclusion has caught up to the stream there.
Yeah, the 15-minute delay has arrived. You can hear in the background folks hooting and hollering. All right, hand number 81 here.
The waste management hoodie is off. It's go time here for Dave.
He's got a double down hand.
6-4 versus 8-3. 4 lands for Brian.
Bet it while it's good.
No trappy this time. But it is just a 4, so tough to trap when you hit a 4.
Uh-oh.
Dave's going to bump it up here, 300,000, and
wow.
And yeah, Brian doesn't want to mess with it.
Quick fold.
So 8 Triz. Words are Hard's Money McAvoy doing work tonight.
All right, now we are damn near cousin of pretty near.
Pretty near even.
We're damn near even between Brian and David now.
2.94 to 2.98. That's about as pert near as you can get. Brian's going to Call from the button, 3-4 clubs. 10 deuce of clubs, hello. 10-9-8, 1 club.
How about another? How about another?
Let's get spicy on the turn. Another club. So top pair here for David. Flush draws for both players. Queen of clubs.
Flush.
Whoa, mama.
Over flush.
That's going to be a naughty river here. The queen of clubs. Going to give
All
both
in
players
and
a flush.
There is the collision we were waiting for. Goodness gracious. And Dina's going to have to do
as
the
we
hardest
mentioned,
part.
both players very even in chips here, so Dina's got to count this out and see exactly where our players stand. According to our graphics, we think Brian still has some crumbs. Wow, what a big hand here in hand 83.
Yeah, and I had it in my mind backwards of who had which hand. So, yeah, it's David with the 10 high.
Yeah, David with the 10 high flush. Brian with the
3-4, was it?
Yeah, I think so. The Student Canuters 4 high clubs. Flush over flush. Not fun at a final table.
Naughty flop, naughty turn, and the naughtiest of rivers.
That queen of clubs. She can get you.
So we're thinking Brian may have just a little peg leg to stand on. But he is almost eliminated here after that just brutal, brutal river.
So what a big hand here. And if you take a look at the payouts, you can see exactly how big this hand is.
$4,600.
7,815 for second, 12,405 up top. So yeah, you're looking at a $4,600 hand possibly. But this thing might not be over just yet. I've heard of a little saying, something about a chip in a chair.
Wowzers, wowzers, wowzers. What a hand. Well, she's going to continue to count that down before we get there. We're going to remind you another time tomorrow, if you got some time on your hands, you don't have to be there right at the start at 11 a.m., but there is a Star Wars-themed tournament at our sister club over at Las Colinas, TCH Social. $30K guaranteed, just like the one you're watching now, but it's a $250 buy-in. It's $110 cheaper. So
Sunday Poker.
Sunday Poker, bring some extra bullets. 30K starting stack, 30-minute levels. Come out, have a good time on a Sunday. Bring some Star Wars gear if you got it. It ought to be a good time. RJ will be over there dealing. I may go over there and play tomorrow.
I'll be there.
And there you go. Yeah, absolute crumbs that Brian is left with there. This would be the comeback of all comebacks if he can make this happen. But yeah, he's left with a blind.
Yeah, we're going to have Mount Everest over there in the 2 seat.
He's all over the place geographically. We had the
taking on Mount Lubbock.
Great Wall of China. We had the Berlin Wall, and now it's Mount Everest against an anthill.
All right, so he's in the big blind already, and it does leave just a couple of chips back there. He's going to go ahead and get it in there. He's got 10-9 offsuit, and he does find a good spot here. Is
the trucker 10-4?
10-4 for Dave. And a 4 on the flop.
Ball.
So now it swaps. Brian going to need a 9 to continue.
10-4.
So that's going to be 2 pair for the trucker. 10-4. Good buddy. Good night and good day.
All right.
That's a winner.
That is a winner for David. Second place is going to go to Brian. Show them what they won, RJ.
What did we win tonight?
Second place is going to go to Brian there in the 5 seat, taking home $78.15 for his troubles, finishing second place out of 148. Great job, Brian, and hope to see you back on the tournament. You did great. And our winner and taking home $12,405 is David in our 2 seat. And you can see where all those chippies are stacked over there. big old pile in front of David as he's going to get his picture taken. They're going to bring him the TCH coin that he gets to go with it, saying that he is a 2025 tournament champion. Great job, David. And thanks again, everybody that joined us tonight, RJ.
Yeah, tournament champion David. Very big congrats to him, and congrats to Brian for a strong second-place finish. And we will see you guys tomorrow night, TCH Social, tomorrow day, I guess, Sunday, for the May the 4th Be With You tournament, $30,000 guarantee. That's a $250 buy-in tomorrow, TCH Social at Las Colinas, not Dallas. So we'll see you then. And that's a wrap for tonight. I'm RJ Dupree. He's Eric Van Loozen. Good night, TCH Live.
Peace. See you guys.